Willow Creek was a happy place. Sun dappled through the trees. The houses were bright. People smiled and laughed.
I love it here.
She was a cat with bright eyes and a happy purr, always exploring. One day, Whiskers chased a butterfly. It fluttered past the baker's shop with its delicious smells. Onward it went, toward the edge of the village. Whiskers, caught up in the chase, hardly noticed where she was going. Soon the houses were gone. Trees grew close together. The butterfly disappeared. Whiskers found herself on a path she didn't know. It led to a house, old and quiet. Whiskers had never been here before. The garden was overgrown. The windows were dark. The house seemed sad. Curiosity bubbled inside her. Whiskers crept closer. The old house loomed large. Its paint was peeling. The porch creaked. Whiskers, brave and curious, jumped onto the porch. She sniffed at a cobweb. A door stood slightly ajar. Whiskers pushed the door with her head. It swung open with a low groan. Inside, the house was dark and dusty. Sunbeams slanted through cracks in the boarded-up windows. The air was still and silent.
What's inside here?
Whiskers stepped inside. The floorboards creaked under her paws. She moved cautiously, her senses alert. A faint sound reached her ears, a tiny meow, weak and scared. Following the sound, Whiskers reached a small room. A pile of old blankets lay in the corner, and there, huddled in the middle, was a tiny kitten. Its fur was matted and dull. It looked up at Whiskers with wide, frightened eyes. The kitten was very small. It was almost hidden in the pile of blankets. Its eyes were large and dark. Whiskers felt a pang of sympathy for the little creature. The kitten just blinked. It was too scared to even meow now. Whiskers came closer. She sat down a little way away. S1, hello. The kitten didn't answer. It just kept staring at Whiskers. Whiskers purred gently, hoping to calm the frightened kitten. S1, what's your name?
I'm Whiskers. What's your name?
The kitten finally let out a tiny meow.
I'll call you Shadow, because you're small and dark like a shadow.
Meow.
Section 4, Lessons in Bravery. Shadow was very timid. He was scared of everything. The sound of the wind made him jump. He wouldn't leave the pile of blankets.
Come on, Shadow, she said one day. It's time to be brave.
Shadow clung to the blanket. Whiskers nudged him gently with her head.
I'll show you how, she said.
Whiskers showed Shadow how to hunt. She taught him how to pounce on a leaf. She showed him that the world wasn't so scary. Slowly, Shadow began to gain confidence. He started to follow Whiskers around. He learned to chase butterflies with her. He even began to purr. Whiskers was proud of how brave Shadow was becoming. Section 5, A New Hope blooms. Word spread through the village about the old house. The children came to see. They brought food for Whiskers and Shadow. The adults talked amongst themselves.
We can't leave them there, said the baker, a kind woman with flour on her apron. That old house is dangerous.
Everyone agreed. They decided to help. The villagers came together. They brought tools and wood. They fixed the leaky roof and replaced the broken windows. They cleaned the house and made it safe. The garden was tidied. Flowers were planted. The old house was transformed. It wasn't sad and empty anymore. It was full of life and hope. Section 6, Whiskers and Shadow's forever home. The old house became a sanctuary. It was a place for cats who needed a home. There were cozy beds and scratching posts. Food and water bowls were always full.
Whiskers and Shadow loved their new home. They were no longer alone. They had each other, and now they had a whole family of cats.
They played in the sunny garden and curled up together in the warm house. Whiskers, brave and kind, watched over everyone. She was like a big sister to all the cats. Shadow, no longer timid, played with his new friends. He had found his courage thanks to Whiskers. The old house was filled with purrs and happy meows. It was a testament to the power of kindness and the joy of sharing your heart with those in need. Whiskers and Shadow knew they were home.